Life gets very confusing after 18. With nobody to tell you what to do, a lot of us feel directionless. But such is the beauty of life. You will go places, face problems your parents never told you about, and learn a lot of things along the way. Last night I was looking at old photos from college, and I could not help but wonder about the things I would tell my 18-year-old self about life, about people, and about myself. But I can't, and neither do I have any younger siblings, so here we are. I'll try to be the elder brother that I never had. And the first thing that I like to say is to buy that expensive coffee. So, one thing I've learned is that you can only actively focus on one of two things, either saving money or earning money. Saving money can be bought into systems, but earning money should always be your first priority if you're especially in that particular age bracket. Because even if you save like 300 rupees on coffee every single day, that is barely a little more than 1 lakh over a year. But what if you could have that coffee because it makes you feel so better, and you can work so much better, and you can make 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs more in a year? It is ultimately a better deal. So if you really like something, if you're really passionate on something, be it manga or be it coffee or something else, don't listen to people, because they will always tell you to save money on this, save money on that. I think you should focus more on earning more money so you can spend more money. That's the whole point. I think so. And point number two is that suffering is not cool. I remember back in school days, like when someone used to be upset or mad, they would remove their WhatsApp PFP. It will be a black PFP or no PFP. People would put songs in their stories or WhatsApp statuses. It is not just other people. I have noticed that when I was a teenager or even when I was 20, I felt great getting sympathy from people, and I often cared less about the situation and more about how I can benefit from it. So let's just put one thing out there: responsible adults are not going to give a shit if you are suffering just for the sake of suffering. Like really high impact people, people who are productive, people who are doing something with their life, they do not like people who are whining every single day about something or the other just to get some sympathy or just to make them feel good about not doing anything in their life. So suffering is not cool, guys. If you're actually suffering, share it with people as long as it's genuine, and then you have to put an end to this, because nobody else is going to end your suffering. You have to do it yourself. So just get out of it. At point number three is that communication is the most important skill. See, I've been a very big introverted person and very shy growing up. I barely ever left the house, studied in a all boys school, and never really made too many friends or went out or did anything, to be honest. And I always had this innate mentality that if I'm exceptional at what I'm doing, people would just value me by default. People would know about me, people would praise me, appreciate me, or all of those things. But the reality was very different. Throughout college life, I have experienced that. And till this date, my biggest regret from college life is that I did not network enough. I did not talk to enough people. I found like five, six great friends in first year, and I did not look for more friends in my whole college life. Of course, I was very fortunate to get such friends, but also I never looked for more friends or more people. And after getting into this content creator space, this business space, entrepreneurship space, I really understand the value of communication. And whenever I'm talking with an entrepreneur, talking with a business owner, I feel the lack in me. I feel the lack of experience I have when it comes to communication, when it comes to persuading people. And I wish I had started speaking early. I wish that dilemma, not even a dilemma, it's a delusion in my mind that, oh, I just need to be good at my work and people will just come talk to me, people will just come find me and give me work. It does not work like that. Communication skills, if you're just going to improve on one thing, it is communication skills. You have to be able to persuade people, you have to be able to mold their thoughts, and you have to be able to tell great stories, not just through video but with your actual words. So if I could go back to 18 years old, the only thing I will focus on is communication skills. At number 4, I would like to say that life is better lived in phases. As soon as I got out of college, started my software engineering job, this whole notion of work-life balance came around from almost everyone. Like, you should balance your life and your work. But because I was also a part-time content creator back then, there was not much life and a lot of work. And people would often pity me, like, bro, you work so hard and all that. But it never felt like work to me because I really love making these videos. And even after going through that phase and now running our business while also running the YouTube channel and multiple things together, I can almost certainly say that work-life balance is bullshit. If you are only happy with your life, then maybe you can go with work-life balance. But essentially, I find it better to work for like 5 months than take a 1 month break, or work for 6 days non-stop, no breaks, and take your Sundays off. I feel that is a much better way. That way, my work is never interrupted by fun, and my fun can be much better than anyone who is having fun every single day. So that way, I feel life is better lived in seasons. And the next thing is a little controversial, that people on the internet are only going to tell you, bro, hard work is the real thing. You have to do so much hard work, grind 12, 14, 15 hours a day. But the only heartbreaking part about all of this is that even if you work 10, 12 hours every single day, it does not guarantee you success. Like, suppose if you are standing in the middle of a forest and if you are trying to get out of that forest, if you just keep running very fast in different directions, there's a very high chance that you will never leave the forest. You will be running in circles or in the same area because you always keep changing directions. Direction is so much more than the speed you're running at. And that is why you need to be very meticulous about planning and about setting your directions and putting in time and effort into that one single direction so you can finally get out of the rut or the analogical forest. And it is not absolutely dumb to be focusing on two, three different things at once. But the only problem with our generic brain is that if we keep switching between multiple tasks, it gets nothing out of it. It just never reaches its full potential, and none of the three tasks or the two tasks get done to its full capability or full efficiency. To achieve efficiency and performance, you need to be using something called time blocking. This is something that I guess discovered in the last year of my college. I have been scheduling my day for the longest time. Okay. I used to be a meticulous scheduler. I used to assign every hour to what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. But a better way to do is to give a 3-4 hour chunk of time to one particular domain of your life. Next 3-4 hours for another domain of your life. That is a much better way because your brain can finally get into a zone. That is why I keep all my YouTube related work late at night from like 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, because at that time there is no agency work, there is no one disturbing me, and there is nothing else that I need to think about. And that is why I keep my agency work during the day, because it is not always very predictable. So I keep this whole big chunk of time for my agency work. Now, this time blocking thing can be done on your calendar app or on a paper, but it is best done inside of AIFlow, which is also today's sponsor. See, what I absolutely love about AIFlow is that it integrates seamlessly with any other tool that you're already using, like Notion, like Google Calendar, or anything else that you're using. It can connect and sync to it seamlessly. Creating tasks is super simple. Creating projects is super simple. Assigning the task to a project is also a thing of history because AIFlow AI does it automatically. Then you can drag those tasks to the calendar to assign them a chunk of time, which is exactly what I've been talking about. There is also a very powerful command bar that you can access by pressing Command K on Mac and Control K on Windows. And this can be used to do almost anything. Create tasks, delete tasks, reschedule something, or just make something repeatable. But the biggest advantage of AIFlow is that it shows you stats. Through the ritual feature and the statistics feature, you can also understand how your working patterns have changed, how they have evolved, and what actually works the best for you. Now, I know this might seem a little overwhelming for you. You can click the first link in the description to book a free onboarding call with the official team of AIFlow. Thanks a lot to AIFlow for making today's video possible. Number 5 is all about your peers. You must have heard that quote that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That is probably the truest quote I have ever seen being implemented in real life. Because if you spend time with gamblers, you will gamble a lot of money. If you spend time with entrepreneurs, likewise. So be really cautious about who you are spending your time with. I'm not saying leave your friends who are not motivated in life. I'm not saying leave your friend who just plays video games. No. Even if you want to play video games, you can always go to them and play video games. But who are the people you are spending the most time around? They don't even have to be your friend. It can be a mentor, it can be a co-worker, it can be even a boss. But be around really hardworking, visionary people. That is the only way you can be and you can stay a visionary and a hardworking person. Number 6 is a shocker. Money can actually buy you happiness, but only if you earn that money. A camera, no matter which model, bought with your own hard-earned money, will be 100 times, 1,000 times more valuable and more fulfilling than something that you can ask your dad to buy you. Okay, up next is one of the things that has completely changed how I interact with people, how I listen to their words, how I try to understand them and their actions. Because a lot of things will be very clear when you understand what people want, what their inner desire is. And it is often in the same lines of people want to feel important, right? You want to feel important in your friends group, in your family. I also want to feel important in my friends group, in my company, in whatever friend circle or social circle I am in. And that is why you will also see people are not looking for happiness. Because if you're just looking for happiness, you can probably one day achieve the things that you wanted and just be okay with it and not do anything more in your life. What people want is not happiness. What people deep down want is purpose. That is why what hurts more is not sadness, it is feeling like you're useless. It is feeling like you have no use or no purpose in this life. And that is why people are often finding problems, making their own problems to make them feel useful, at least in their own minds. So, anyone doing anything is essentially just trying to feel important, essentially just trying to feel like they belong somewhere, they're part of something, and they're meant for something. So, if you can just keep that in the back of your mind whenever you're speaking to other people or reacting to anyone's actions, I think you will become a much better human being. Now, the next point is a little bit contrary to that, is that nobody gives a shit about you. Be honest, nobody really gives a shit about you, maybe other than your parents and a few cousins. That's it. Your relatives don't care. Most of your friends don't really care. Your colleagues definitely do not care about what you're doing. So, if you want to start something, a business, maybe making content or something else, and you will know this is very true because you do not really remember much of embarrassing things that your colleague has done or your friend has done, but you remember all of the embarrassing things that you have done maybe 8 to 10 years ago. This just means one thing: nobody will remember what you're doing, nobody will remember your fuck ups other than you. And that's a great thing. That just gives you the license to fuck up even more. And through fucking up is the only way to learn. So, I mean, not to be very rhetorical, but nobody really gives a shit. And that's a great thing. And staying in this interpersonal conversational theme, I would also like to say some battles are not worth fighting. See, I interact with a few 18 years, 19 years, 20 years old people, and I just see the same traits that I used to have back when I was 20, 19, or 18. I used to be stubborn about my beliefs. Like, okay, if I believe this, if I think this is true, I would fight till death to prove you wrong. And it could be the smallest thing, it could be the absolute smallest thing. Just because I have said something, I would try my hardest to stay and stick to my decision, even though I understand that I might have been wrong, I might have not said something very optimal. I would just like to stick to it because I felt otherwise I lose credibility, I lose respect or something. It doesn't. I think the most respectable thing a person can do is to accept their problems or overlook. That is why people say, like, be the bigger person and forgive, be the bigger person and just overlook things. So, like, whenever I'm getting agitated or anxious about something, I like to take a step back. Like, is this argument really necessary? What is the problem if I let the other person win? And in most cases, you will see there is no problem. If you just let the other person win, they're happy, you're happy, and the whole thing gets away. So, where it really matters, where taking a stand is absolutely essential, do not go back down on your word, do not go back from your stand. But if it's your people, if it's people either you care deeply about or people you absolutely don't care about, it is often not worth arguing with them. Just my take. But if you do not listen to me, if you keep treating your friends like shit, if you keep fighting with people, it is very natural to lose a few friends in your life. Even without fights. I just wanted to connect that. But even without fights or any bad blood between two people, it is very natural to lose friends in life. I have lost a few friends from the first year of my college. I have lost friends that I used to speak to every single day for years, and suddenly I don't talk to them anymore at all. And there is no bad blood, it's just lost connection, and that's absolutely fine. I think people value friendships and gauge friendships too much on their longevity. Like, even in the term BFF, best friends forever, We see that glorification of staying friends forever or for a very long period of time. Although that is great, absolutely great. But what happens is, especially when you're 18 to 22, a lot of character development happens. You at 18 is going to be drastically different from the person at 22. Me at 24 is drastically different from what I was at 21. My beliefs, my hobbies, my interests, my priorities, everything have changed. And the friends that 21-year-old Sankho made at that point were really, really great. But if their priorities, their beliefs did not change in a similar way, which is again very natural according to their circumstances, that 24-year-old version might not be a good fit to be a friend of mine. And that's absolutely okay. I feel we should not measure our friendships according to the longevity, but with the experiences, with the depth, the actual experiences that you have done with them, the emotions they have made you feel. I think that's more important. And the fact that you will lose friends and you have limited time with each one of your friends, just make that time a lot more special. It's like life becomes special because death exists. The fact that we are running out of time makes this time more and more valuable. Up next is something that all of us will experience in our life, and it will be one of the biggest heartbreaks that you will ever see. For me, the biggest heartbreak was getting this. This I understand is a very big aspiration for a lot of people. It was for me as well. But getting this in my hand, the day I got this in my hand, I was not happy. And I have made a whole video about this, but to brief it, it is something called the hedonic treadmill. That the finish line looks amazing only till you get there. And whatever wins you have in your life are all momentary. If you buy a great car, yeah, you're excited for a few days. You buy a new MacBook, you buy yourself a new iPhone, you are excited for a few days. But all of your victories are essentially flashes of light, and flashes of light go away very quickly. So, unless you fall in love with the grind of making money to buy an iPhone, or the grind of making videos, or the love of making videos to get a silver play button, you're not going to enjoy it at all. And more than the glory of success will be the regret of wasted time, that, oh, why do I not feel good? And trust me, that is one of the weirdest emotions to ever have, like holding the silver play button and feel like, why do I not feel good? Now, next one is something a lot of people will relate with. It is that you're weird and you're cringe, and that's your superpower. Now, I might sound like a very basic guru, but whatever is weird about you is your differentiator. So, whatever is cringe about you or different about you, if you feel proud about it, people will start seeing it as unique. Oh, this guy is so unique. He has a unique hairstyle if you are carrying that hairstyle with confidence. But if you have a very uncommon hairstyle and if you look timid, people will just make fun of you. So, whatever is weird is essentially what makes you different, because that is something nobody else can copy, and that is what makes you special. But only if you take pride in it. And this has been a very classic case of mine. I used to be very embarrassed of my name when I was in school, but only after I started doing good in life, I started doing great things, people started to recognize me. That name, that weird name, suddenly became, oh, dude, you have such a cool name. Why the name never became cool? Because people find this person cool, this person aspirational, that name becomes aspirational. So whatever is weird about you will become your advantage. Even if it might seem like it is a disadvantage right now, it will become your advantage as soon as you start taking pride in it and you start doing great, great shit in your life. For the next one, let me tell you a story. So there is this anime movie from Studio Ghibli called Whisper of the Heart. This basically showcases a light-hearted love story between two school students, but these are not normal school students. Both Seiji and Shizuku have passion towards art or literature. Seiji is one who makes violins and wants to go to Italy to become an actual violin maker, while Shizuku writes novels, a writer who is frustrated but very deeply passionate about writing fiction. They fall in love somehow, and it's a very small little banter. It's very light-hearted and very heartwarming to watch, and it was honestly the first ever anime that I have ever watched, and it's still one of my favorites. So when this anime got released in Japan, there was an outrage in the middle-aged people who were like already above 25, 30, 35, and they accused this movie to be the fuel of their regret. They were so regretful that they did not have a life like this. Their youth did not look like this. Everyone was sad and frustrated. And I can see that coming from a very traditional country like Japan. But the point is, even if you're doing good in your life, even if you're doing great in your career, you will have some regrets. That is inevitable. Everyone has regrets in their life. And I don't think anyone has a solution to this, because we are always presented with multiple opportunities, the multiple paths we can take in our life, and we can only always take one. The regret will always be there. And I think we have to live. We have to learn to live with it. But what matters more is that what do you tell yourself about the regrets? What do you think? People I have often seen, they do so much negative self talk that it's essentially very, very toxic. And people will be saying the worst shit to themselves, right? And they don't realize that all of that is getting registered in their own brain. They're reaffirming. I don't really believe in manifestation or affirmations, but if you tell yourself every day that you're never gonna be great, you're never gonna be great. I am sub quoting some song, I'm not really sure which one, but that's the whole point. I'll give you a more relatable example. Back in school, you will remember, in every friend group, there will be two people who will get teased for liking each other. And deep down, you know that maybe one of them do not have any feelings or any affection. But if you do it long enough, if you tease them long enough, they start getting something for each other. And that thing has all the meaning, because the reaffirmation that you keep doing every single day means a lot. So, if you're living a very hectic life, or if you're going through a very bad phase of your life or a very low phase, the story that you tell yourself is the most important thing. So, whenever I'm going through a bad phase of my life, I tell myself, bro, this is going to be the greatest comeback. The story is going to be so amazing. And it's all about that. Like, if every day you wake up and you tell, my life is so bad, I'm so miserable, that really affects how you look at life. And I'm not saying you have to be positive about everything or you have to be negative about everything, but be mindful about what you're thinking, because that is going to become your reality. Not to the fact that if you start thinking, oh, I'm a millionaire, you're going to become a millionaire in a year. Maybe you will, but that is not how it works. But I'm saying your outlook, your worldview basically shapes your world. And the next one is something that I realized reminiscing about my childhood, right? I used to live in a village, and in summer there used to be like 5 hour, 6 hour long power cuts, even in like afternoon or noon, and it used to be really hot. And because I lived in a village, there were no ACs, no coolers, nothing, right? And especially if it's a power cut, nothing is going to work. You only have those hand fans that you can use. So what we'll do is that me, my mom, my dad, if he's home, or even sometimes my cousins, we'll go sit beneath a mango tree. Maybe even pick out a few mangoes from here and there. Maybe we'll cut them, maybe we'll eat some, or maybe we'll just sit there enjoying the afternoon breeze. And thinking back at that, I feel like we have lost that part of life. There is no boredom anymore. We do not know how to be bored. Boredom feels so uncomfortable. If I turn on the camera right now, I keep this away, I turn away my laptop, my phone, it is going to be so uncomfortable to sit for me for 30 minutes. And I think it's a superpower if you can sit in boredom, because anything creative if you're doing, especially, I have first hand experienced this, that if I'm looking for ideas, boredom is the best thing I can have. If I am not putting anything into my brain becomes really uncomfortable about being empty. So it starts filling itself with ideas. It starts making ideas to fill itself up, because it cannot stay empty. And that is why I think if you have the ability to be bored in this day and age, you have an edge over everyone else. Next one is especially important for anyone who is looking for a college. Again, whenever you're choosing a college, you should of course look at the placement rate, the college curriculum, the campus, and all that. But if you're ever left on the dilemma between like two, three colleges which are equally as good, always pick the one farthest from your home. Always do that, because I cannot stress this enough about how important it is to move out of your home. Even better if you can move out of your city. Go to a whole new place. Understand how life is living alone. Understand how life is living away from your family. Understand how life is being completely independent of your life and of your choices. I think that is a really crucial lesson that anyone can learn in their teenage or in their early 20s. So move out of your parents' house, go somewhere else. Even if you're an entrepreneur, not going to college, if the money allows, move to a different flat in the same city, even. You're going to evolve. Just like Pokemons do, you're going to evolve as a human being. Now, I have already told you that I have been a huge introvert. I was not confident talking to people. And I have always wondered about how can I become more confident? How can I become better at speaking to people? And I never figured it out. So I thought, okay, let me just fake it. And that is when I realized the ultimate solution to being confident is to just fake it till you make it. I've been drinking this for a very long time. All of you think it is coffee or maybe tea. This is actually Diet Coke. I am faking it, guys. But if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. So, in a social circle or a public situation, if you just act like you're confident, to everyone, you are confident. And once your brain gets used to acting like you're confident, your brain acts like it is confident. And that is honestly the easiest solution that I have ever found. I am not saying that I have reached the epitome of confidence yet, but I'm like more than halfway there. You should see what 18-year-old Sanko used to be like. He was not able to talk to the camera, he was not able to show his face on camera, he was not able to talk to people, let alone girls, not even people. But now this guy has come a really long way. Now, faking it is not just limited to your confidence, it is also about showing off the phone that you own, the car that you drive, or the outfit that you're wearing. And this might seem like very superficial to invest in these things just to feel more important to other people, but hate to break it to you, it is all a perception game, and it is not a bad thing. It is not something you can change, because if you look at someone, if you first meet someone, the perception of them is first made through visual. How you look at them, which car is that guy driving, what outfit is she wearing, but your first perception is always visual. I did not believe in these things when I was back in college. I never worried about what I am wearing. I never worried about the phone I'm carrying. I never worried about maybe putting on a nice perfume or setting my hair, all of these things. I'm not saying I worry about them a lot now, but I understand in some settings, when meeting certain people, I really have to be well presented. I really have to be presenting myself well so that my ignorance towards fashion does not negatively affect some deal or some other aspect of my life. So that is something you have to keep in mind. And talking about interpersonal perception and relationships, I think the best thing that you can learn if you want to be liked by people is to shut up and listen. Listen to people, because as I already said, people want to feel important. But if someone feels, oh, I am so amazing after meeting you, I would love meeting you even subconsciously. And I think that is the best thing that you can do. And that is something that I picked up in a very wrong way, because I was an introvert. I never really had the courage to talk much to people. So people will generally overshare a lot with me because I was not speaking much, and people would think, oh man, Sanko is such a good listener. That has played wonders in my life. But the point is that I understand the power of listening, not hearing to respond, but actually hearing to understand. Once people feel heard, they speak more to you. Now, the next one is something that I might get a little bit hate for, but it's okay. I believe every book should be treated as a written YouTube video, and this is the YouTube video thumbnail. See, this is essentially information packaged in a media form, and this is essentially consuming information. And these are written by people, YouTube videos are also made by people. But somehow, since our childhood, we have never heard anyone say, oh, this book is not good, this book is trash. We have only heard good things about books, and they have been glorified throughout our lives, so that we feel like, oh, if this is in a book, this is written in a book, this all must be true. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm not saying this is wrong, but I'm saying we have that extra glorification of whatever is written in a book to take it as the absolute truth and implement it in our life. It does not work like that. We should just look at books like written YouTube videos, because they are essentially that. And we are nearing the end of this list, and I wanted to shed some light on how we are no better than our parents. Now, see, I'm not saying my parents or your parents are bad, but I hear it way too much from people that, oh, My dad wants me to do engineering, but I don't like engineering. They are forcing me into a career that I don't want to do or something. But I hear that and I'm like, bro, you don't even know what you want to do. You're 16. If you had a clarity of what you want to do, if it was credible at all, then I could back it up. Like, okay, makes sense that, okay, you're a graphic designer and you're doing great in it. Good. But most of the people at 15, 16, 17, even 18, they're like, oh, I want to become a YouTuber, want to become a YouTuber, have never made a single video, and they expect their parents to agree. Oh, maybe my son or daughter will make a great YouTuber when they have made zero videos ever. That is nothing more than an infatuation towards a career. And you are like, oh, I want to live this lifestyle. You are essentially enforcing a career onto yourself. You look at me or look at some other content creator and you're like, oh, I want to become a content creator. You don't even like making videos. So instead of your parents enforcing you into a career that you don't really enjoy doing, that you're not passionate about, you yourself are sabotaging yourself by getting into a career or forcing yourself into a career that you do not enjoy. And coming to the penultimate point is that nothing really matters if you think about it. Whatever makes you anxious has not happened yet. Even if it happens, even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't really matter. No matter what you do in life, you might end up upsetting a few people here and there. Not everyone will be happy with you. But if you think about it, it doesn't really matter. And see, I am not someone who believes in nihilism full fledged. I agree that nothing really matters, but I do not agree that we shouldn't do anything then. Right? I will hear this argument a lot. Why do work so hard? Why to earn all this money? I'm going to die anyway. A poor person, a rich person is going to die anyway. Motherfucker, the life, the 60, 70 years they're going to live is what matters. And although nothing makes sense, nothing will matter. 3 generations down the line, nobody will remember you. That is why I love this phrase. I don't know where I heard it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And whatever pursuit I or you are on, like we are working 10 hours, 12 hours every single day, either working a job, building a business, or something else. Why are we doing it? These are stupid games that we play to win stupid prizes. And I am in no way demeaning the game. I think the game is the whole reason we are alive. We are trying to find purpose, just like everyone else in this world, everyone who has ever lived. These games that we make up for ourselves is the sole reason our life has meaning. And that is why it is very, very crucial to play some stupid games in the hope that you will win some stupid prize. And kids, that is the end of today's class. I hope you take something away from this video. This is a very raw, unfiltered video that I have been wanting to make before I turn 25. So I can probably make another one next year. And I just want to put it out there, no matter how it looks, my life is also a little confusing, sometimes a little overwhelming. Sometimes I also get anxious. And whatever you're feeling right now, it's absolutely valid. Just try to understand yourself more, try to understand the world more, try to understand the people you love a little bit more, and everything will fit into place. Hopefully. That's the best we can hope for. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.